Hey everyone, so it is Friday morning. Working at the cow feeding right now. I just have to put my last ingredient in, the corn silage. Everything else is in there. We're gonna mix it up, and then we'll go run it out. See, we got all the good stuff in there. Grain, haylage, some triticale, mineral. So right now we're at 4,000 pounds. We're gonna go up to about 11,000 pounds with the silage. So I finished up morning chores, and I was just meeting with the guys who sell us the fertilizer. I talked a little bit about the new type of fertilizer we're trying on triticale this year. Kind of a line down through there. It's a lighter green on this side, darker green there. This is what we usually use versus the new product there on the right. We were a little bit disappointed how that new fertilizer is doing. We had cooler temperatures this spring. We've had some warm days, but a lot of cooler days. With the cooler soil temps, it just wasn't activating that fertilizer like it should. Whereas the UAN was working even in the cooler weather. We're gonna be cutting this stuff within the next couple weeks, and with warmer weather coming, we'd like to see it catch up a little bit now. I had a little job I needed to do in the freestall barns. We have our automatic feed pusher that runs through, and we have these metal strips close to the ends that it senses, and it knows exactly where it is, so it knows when to stop at the end of each group. This piece attached to the concrete, and a couple of the bolts broke. Starting to rise up there and probably catching the robot a little bit. So I need to get this reattached. Guess I should have brought a screwdriver so I can clean this out. There's a build up underneath it. It makes it over it, but it kind of catches a little bit. It's only gonna get worse. I got these concrete nails, they work pretty good. Gotta get a couple new holes drilled in the metal, and then we can drill into the concrete. Yeah, those nails are pretty good for this. Better than a screw, because a screw would stick out more at the top. These are pretty much flush. Today is Friday, so that means we're gonna be bedding the free stalls again. So we like to add in this hydrated lime, mix it in a little bit, just to help fight bacteria. It's very basic, doesn't make very good conditions for bacteria growth. So I bed up that far side of the barn, letting these cows back out now. They're already milked. We're running the footbath this afternoon. So we run a copper sulfate footbath 3 times a week. They all walk through it on their way back from milking. So they can get warts on their hooves, a couple different issues it helps fight. It helps keep the hooves harder so that they don't get sores as easily too. One thing I'm thinking with the floor scrapers in now is just staying cleaner, and then their feet are cleaner when we run them through the footbath. So it's getting better contact with the hooves and the skin there. So you can see that the hooves are pretty clean. It's a good thing to see. I'll have to bed the other side of the barn then once they're ready for me. So thinking about spring forage harvest, we want to be ready to go for mowing when it's time. So I'm gonna go hook the disc spine up to the 7130 and we'll bring it down to the shop and go over it, make sure it's ready to go. So the disc spine stays in that old barn over there. First, this goes on the hitch. I was about to drive out and I looked back and I noticed the tire's completely flat. I'm gonna go around and grease it, and then we'll open it up and check all the knives. And I also want to set the rollers tight. We want to roll the spring forage crop. It'll just be good to have this machine ready to go. When we want to mow hay, we can just mow hay. For some reason, driving over here, PTO shaft pulled apart. Don't know why that happened. Can be kind of a pain to put together again. So there's a specific way it has to go. That's why I've had trouble in the past. So it was kind of hard to put it back together, but I got it. I have one to get right there. I have to rotate it a little bit to get it to line up. Yeah, that knife should be changed. A lot of them look pretty good. So the knife's supposed to be able to move a little bit. So now I'm going to tighten up these rollers a little bit more. So these we had replaced, it was last winter, got a different type of metal rollers put in that really do a good job crimping. You can see the gap on the side. There's less than a ½ inch gap there, so I'm not even sure if I want to tighten it any more than that. If I remember right, we had tightened them for 5th cutting because we had some weeds growing or something like that. I think that tire just has a really slow leak. It's sitting all winter, so it went flat, but it shouldn't give any trouble now. So we just have this toolbox. We keep spare knives in and the tools we need to change knives if they break in the field. And I'm actually gonna unhook this mower again because we're gonna need the tractor. I think I'm gonna wrap this video up. I have to feed the cows again. My dad's actually away today, so I wasn't crazy busy. Just make sure everything's getting done. Have a good one, guys.